I want all of you to shut off. Turn out every light in your immediate vicinity, whether it be in a restaurant, shopping center, or other public area. We hope to completely darken everything, as our actions will only extinguish the light within your thoughts. We have solved the puzzle in today's video. We will discuss Visa's stablecoin program, its long-term planning, and its covert use of Ripple. We've completed this, it's now in your possession, but what would happen if you didn't see it? After I showed it to you, everything is happening, so the only thing we can do is wait for the big announcement, which is most likely going to come very soon. However, before we do that, I want to clarify that US Treasury 100% was referring to Ripple's stablecoin. Let this entire thing go. Keep in mind how Nellie Lang articulated her thoughts. While a non-bank payment company is currently launching a stablecoin for retailers, the primary purpose of stablecoins is cryptocurrency trading, not payment. A non-bank payment company is attempting to utilize its stablecoin to reach out to retailers by releasing it periodically. You're completely mistaken when you claim that it has anything to do with PayPal or stablecoins. This happened 5 days ago. The release of Ripple stablecoin occurred 2 weeks ago, on April 4th. Well, it's not as recent as PayPal, which debuted 6 months ago, and there are so many differences that it's hard to draw comparisons with PayPal. Stablecoin compared to what Ripple is about to do at this time, and this market will be enormous. Visa is aware of this, which is why, if you guys look at this measure, Visa has been purchasing Ripple partners since day one. Significantly, Visa has made this announcement, don't you think? Consider the following. The number of transactions in the last 30 days has reached $2.6 trillion, and we haven't yet reached the point where real-world use cases begin to take hold. 365 million. Do you recall the small diagram I displayed? With numerous transactions taking place. We previously mentioned that there were approximately 20 transactions visible on the screen. I can't believe it enough, because this is all happening without anyone even using blockchain for practical applications. And look us in the eye. DC has a volume of 55 billion, followed by USDT at 140 billion. However, Visa acknowledges that this industry is poised for significant growth, with Ripple playing a significant role. Look at this currency. You guys are aware that we will only be briefly looking at it. On July 2nd, 2020, in US dollars, Cloud swiftly announced this collaboration. A year later, on December 20th, 2021, Cloud announced a collaboration with the Visa/Ripple puzzle is finished Ripple. These are finished for obtaining currency. Alright, Cloud, this isn't a coincidence. This is due to their consistent repetition of similar actions. In 2015, Earthport and Ripple formed a partnership to integrate blockchain technology into their banks. MasterCard and Visa engaged in a protracted bidding war for Earthport, with Visa emerging as the winner, further enhancing this partnership. Visa paid $250 million to acquire Earthport, and as you are all aware, MasterCard and Ripple are now collaborating. Can you now clearly see our alignment? Having said that, allow me to share some exciting news. Visa joins AWS to streamline international digital payments. That was yesterday, they made the announcement. AWS has long partnered with this and Ripple. Can you see how they're speeding things up? It's happening. Even on the Visa website, it's a new plus. Visa is creating the Open Money Network, and these are fintech case studies that they are conducting with Ripple partners because we also have AirWallex. We are aware that Ripple has been a significant partner with AirWallex for a considerable amount of time, and ultimately, this is what matters most. To put the cherry on top, we clarified that Nellie Lang had not discussed the PayPal stablecoin, and I'm sure we could all agree that she hadn't. Now, we're going to watch this video together, which is only a few months old, and listen to Eric Van Millenberg as he discusses this new development with Ripple and BIS Visa on the same panel. I have extracted the salient points for your perusal. Eric has worked at Ripple for about 8 years. So pay close attention to what he says. They are currently testing Ripple behind closed doors and won't divulge the details. Examine the Visa individual, I can't remember his name offhand. Take a picture of my head, But don't look at him when Eric begins discussing some of the topics we discuss on this channel, including licensing. That said, ladies and gentlemen, this seems absurd. I am grateful to each and every one of you. So, please take a moment to review all the details we have recently gathered for a visa. They have a metric, and they're examining it. The dashboard for stable currencies shows that Ripple has exited its stablecoin. Nellie Lang spoke exclusively about Ripple stablecoin and Ripple partners obtaining a visa. In reality, there has been no increase in the number of companies using Ripple under these conditions, and now that we have this information, I'm unable to provide you with any further details. This is the final component of the visa application. Conundrum, that is the end of it. For this purpose, Visa and BIS Ripple sat together. Listen to this now. Visa, Ripple, and BIS, we are leveraging XRP. Ultimately, it goes without saying that you are aware that a high-quality commodity or service that addresses a pressing issue in the real world offers genuine utility. It goes beyond speculating and making quick money. It's not just about making quick money, it's also about driving up the cost of cryptocurrency. All these things will align, after all. I believe they are now in alignment. The businesses are doing a great job. Things that may go wrong, because I don't want anyone in the room or at home to be like, wow, the BIS visa, and wonder why they believe that everything is perfect and that Ripple will figure it out. Of course, this is a challenging issue. Technology has advanced to the point where, I believe, things no longer terrify people just because they are novel. You may disagree, but I believe that they should be more brave. Because of industry rights, self-inflicted wounds have occurred, making people afraid. As a result, I believe that we will need to see more credible actors who act appropriately and prioritize compliance over anything else. I have to cope with some inconvenience. Governments need to take the initiative and provide clarification on regulations. We saw some excellent instances of that, I believe. Globally, particularly in Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, and to a lesser extent in the United States, businesses can confidently innovate and invest, ensuring a return on investment and preventing exploitation. It's a combination of factors, in my opinion, and because certain governments that haven't chosen to sort of be precise about what you can and can't do are going to surprise them. In the end, it's clear that you are aware of a solid product and service that offers genuine utility and addresses a real-world problem. It's not just about making quick money through speculation or driving up the price of cryptocurrencies. All these things, I believe, will come into alignment. They're starting to align. I can tell that the companies are doing a great job. There are several causes for optimism, including the fact that some governments and jurisdictions are stepping up. One characteristic of networks is that their value increases with the number of connected items. Therefore, I believe that we are all kind of circling the idea that there will eventually be a critical mass, tipping point, or threshold at which there is more value in the new network than the old network when we think about the kind of transition from one network to another. Around in various commercial settings. We all recognize the importance of the G20 as a catalyst for improving these types of payments. I believe that the majority of these payments have demonstrated technical feasibility in both public and private settings, with the type of business being the determining factor. Viability. So as more and more companies in this area begin to turn a profit, I believe this will draw in more players and value, and at that point, these new types of networks begin to cross that threshold. Once we reach that critical juncture, I anticipate a rather organic development from there, so I'm quite hopeful. Even though I've been advocating for this process, I believe it's important to address potential issues. I do not want anyone in the room or at home to be awestruck and wonder, wow, the BIS visa. Why do they think Ripple will solve this awesome problem? However, it's undeniably a challenging issue. If it weren't, Ripple would have tackled it long ago. Ripple has primarily focused on the cost of compliance, which is one of the main issues. There are always financial institutions around. We're a business-to-business, B2B, company that offers technology to facilitate the more efficient transfer of funds across borders. However, as our clientele grew accustomed to this technology, we recognized the opportunity to remove the complexity and provide the desired outcome. As a result, we proceeded to the next phase, which involved managing liquidity through the use of a digital asset. We utilize XRP as a bridge currency. However, in this case, we used XRP as a bridge currency in the subsequent phase, which involved addressing liquidity by leveraging a digital asset. The end user didn't actually need to understand or comprehend that there was currency involved in a fiat transaction. The only thing they noticed was that the encryption was faster. We now have a license since it was more affordable than dependable and accessible at 247, both of which were significant advancements over the previous situation. We currently hold licenses in several U.S. states, including New York. We have also applied for licenses abroad. The MOS in Singapore just gave us a large payments institution license. Our goal is to become the preferred location for expedited money transfers. We aim to be the preferred location for expedited money transfers, available whenever and however you choose. The previous panel discussed custody hearings, laying the groundwork for future discussions. Extremely significant, we gained something. Since tokenization is on the list, etc., you can imagine that the Swiss company Medico, which was before known as a separate entity, joined the Ripple family last year.